Stephanie, I thought this was really interesting. The New York Times had a fascinating headline, and by fascinating, I mean incredibly misleading and awful. They said this: faced with Trump's English mandate, Mexico's truckers report to class. Then it had a whole article about how Trump is making truckers learn English, both the Mexican truck drivers that come into the country and United States truck drivers who have CDLs. The problem is this: the Commercial Driver's License Act of 1982 required that people must read and speak the English language sufficiently to converse with the general public, read highway signs, do all the things that you need to do in English. In other words, the New York Times saying, hey, why is Trump doing this evil thing that was passed in legislation 40 freaking years ago? Why is Trump making this so difficult for people who don't know English? Stephanie, why should people know English in order to be able to operate heavy machinery on the roads? And two, why is Trump getting blamed for this?
The horrors, Joe Bob. I mean, you're a bigot and a racist if you want people to learn the language of the country they're driving massive vehicles in that could potentially be very dangerous weapons and kill people. It's just so absurd. You know, I am bilingual. My mom's from Mexico. She speaks Spanish. She learned English probably by the first or second year she was here. She made an effort. She's fluent. Don't you want to learn the language of the country that you're living in? When I go to Mexico, I don't expect anyone to speak to me in English. In fact, I made an effort to learn so I could speak to my family fluently there. It's just totally absurd. And of course, the left, everything that Trump does, they have to do the opposite. I mean, if Trump said he was going to find a cure for cancer, they would have a problem with that too.
Yeah, yeah. Don't you dare! That would be such a terrible thing to do with the MAGA people making advances in science. Jenna, you know what I think is the most interesting thing here is the idea that really the only thing the administration is doing is enforcing the law. Again, this has been on the books for 40 plus years, and the only thing that's happening is Trump goes, "Hey, there's this law here that is affecting American citizens. Maybe we should enforce that." Why are people mad at, why is the New York Times specifically mad at President Trump and not mad at Congress for passing that law if they're trying to point fingers at who's actually responsible?
Arguably, a lot of people on the left actually don't know the law and probably never have known the law. They probably think this is a random new one that he's making all of a sudden. And that's kind of what I feel like about majority of the things he says. I'm like, do you guys know that this has already been going on for years, tens of years? And arguably too, if you cannot understand English and you cannot understand 1 out of 4 of the highway signs, it's basically like you're driving like you're drunk. I mean, I would never want to be behind a car, no matter the size, if I have no clue what the road signs mean or what they say. That is equal to driving intoxicated. You're mentally not aware of what is going on. So to say, I mean, I don't know why these people enjoy risking their lives for the sake of hating Trump. It's a weird pattern. But they'll do anything because this hatred just runs so deep in their veins.
Yeah, and obviously you're referring to the illegal who couldn't speak a lick of English and ended up, again, terrible story, killing 3 people in Florida, which is, yeah, again, the whole situation is terrible, but it did shed light on the fact that, holy crap, this is actually happening at a scale that a lot of us should be very uncomfortable with.